What's going on? Justin here with Bonafide Fishing, and today with the help of Newport Vessels and Ramel, we are installing an NK180 Pro on this SKF117. Today we are strictly going over how to install the motor, the lift and lower line system, the reverse lines. If you would like to check out how to install the steering kit, we have a separate video available on our page. Right now, Ramel is getting all the parts and pieces situated together, so you'll have the box from Newport, but you'll have a couple of additional items as well that will be included from Big Adventures to help you get the lift and lower lines installed. But for the most part, everything is going to come in that NK180 Pro package. Everything is nice and organized. It even has the names of everything on the bag, so you should have everything that you need right here.
All right, so we have all our contents for the NK180 Pro laid out. Basically, everything that we're going to use for this install is right here on this table. We'll go ahead and open her up. So we're going to go ahead and set up the mounting bracket first, then we'll put the retract bar on, and then we'll start mounting stuff on the kayak. So pre-prepping the mount consists of installing the trim bar. I always set that to the second hole here, which is 10 degrees. So I will mention, we do have cotter pins at the end of this drum pin, but the cotter pins actually aren't 100% necessary, just added extra locking for in case you really want to put it on. But this instance, I'm not going to install that. So we're going to go ahead and prep our motor here by installing our retract bar. I really got to get I should ask him to include a ratcheting 10 mil, at least one, just for this. You can cut to that classic YouTube a few moments later. It's funny, everybody uses that. All right. So there is a top and a bottom to the retract bar. The big hole is for the carabiner, so that's up at the top. Small hole is for the bolt to go pass through the triangle. So I'll put a wrench in the middle here just to space out the triangle, and we'll slide the retract bar on, line up the holes, and reinstall our nut and bolt. Alright, that should do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to just get this relatively lined up here with the, for now, just close. We're going to, like I said, make our final adjustments when we get it on the boat, on the kayak, and we'll go from there.
Before we get this bracket installed, just want to make it clear we do have 4 quarter 20s that will be included in the back. You can use those, or you can use the ones that are included in the NK180 Pro kit.
Let's get this put on. So we're going to install our bracket on the 4-hole bolt pattern here on the back of the. We're going to be using the bolts that are included in our kit, but Bonafide boats do come with the hardware, quarter 20 hardware from the factory. All right, so let's get our motor installed here. This is so much lighter. Alright, so now we have our motor mounted up and installed. We're going to go and make our final adjustments. Basically, we're going to align the motor with the triangle. We're going to use our included steering lock bolt. We're just going to use this to lock the triangle in place, and then we're going to align the motor to the triangle. Alright, that looks good. Running depth looks good to start with. So, like I said, I usually start with 1 inch of tube from the top of the triangle, and that's usually a really good place to start. But in order to get peak performance, because every boat's different, you can start making adjustments to running height as you get on the water and test it out. So just snug it. Alright, so now we have our motor mounted. I'm going to go ahead and install our retract line.
So on this next part, it's going to be customizable to your preference. So we're going to put the lift and lower line on the right hand side because that's our dominant hand. And this is where some of those additional parts are going to come into play. We have some Yak Attack eyelets here. They're going to kind of help route that line down the side of the boat.
So we're going to go ahead and install our retract line, and we're going to run this on the right hand side. So we're going to make use of the included eyelets on our mount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our included line cord, and we are going to insert the eye loop into the eye there, and then we're going to run our tag end through there, and that's going to lock us down on that first eyelet. Then we're going to take our included carabiner and our pulley. We're going to go ahead and install that onto our retract bar, like so. Then we're going to take our tag in again of our retract cord, run that through, and then we're going to run through the eyelet on the mount bracket. And that is our retract. Alright, we're going to go ahead and continue on with our retract install. We have our included in our kit is going to be the Yak Attack eyelets, and we're going to use these for line guides. And we're going to install one eyelet at the back of this track here, one at the front, and we're going to finish at the front here. That's where our horizontal line guide is going to end up being our anchor point for our retract in the retracted position. Alright, then we're going to take our tag in for our retract cord, run it through the line, the eyelets that we have. So we're going to go ahead and install our retract knob. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of mark where the knob will end up on the line when it's fully retracted. So about here. And then I'm going to go ahead, just put a quick knot there so I know where it's at. You can also use a Sharpie marker or a zip tie, but I'm just going to throw a knot right here just so I know where it's at, like so. And then we're going to take our knob. So I'm going to pass the line through the knob. I'm going to loop it, pass it back through again. And that's going to create an area for me to attach to when I get it retracted. It's okay if it's a little bit longer, that's all right. So I'm just gonna pinch that off, go to my handy dandy knot I tied to mark off, and we're just gonna tie a loop knot here with the knob. So now we have our retract knob all tied off, and there we have our retract. So we're going to install a reverse lock line here. We're going to take our carabiner with our included cord. We're going to hook it up to our reverse lock. And I usually put this on the opposite side of my retract. I'm going to run that through my left side eyelet. So now we're going to install our two eyelets as line guides. And sometimes I use a wrench to tighten those down like so. And then we're going to pass our reverse lock through the eyelets. And usually I will put this reverse lock, kind of depends on where it is, since we don't use it that often, but if it's there, I like to have it in a fixed position. So instead of running it all the way up here, I'm going to have it end right at this eyelet so you can reach back and pull it and get reverse. All right, we're going to go ahead and install our reverse lock line into our reverse lock knob. There's a little hole at the bottom. We're going to pass that through and push it through with our finger to get and to pass it through and pull our tag end. And I usually will leave anywhere from 6 to 8 inches from my attachment point, my gut line guide there. So I'm just going to pull it out and just simple knot. Like so. And then we will give it a little trim. And now we have our reverse lock.
We're kind of debating on the best way to route our motor to our battery, and what's already included in the kit is a through-hole kit. So what you could do, if you've got a black pack, you can go ahead and set this back here. You can run that through-hole kit through the side of the black pack, put your battery inside. Now that's one way to do it. Or you could just go straight from the motor to your battery in the back tank well. And I think that's going to be the easiest thing for you to do. But if you want some more protection on that battery, you're more than welcome to use that through-hole kit on the black pack.
All right, for this particular install, we're going to keep this very simple. This is really the simplest way to hook up power to your NK180 Pro. Essentially, we have our pre-made cable kit here. It's pretty long, so you have enough cable to run the battery under the seat if you're able to do so. But in this situation, our motor is just going to plug into our battery, which is going to sit back here, and it's going to get strapped down. And once again, pretty simple. A lot of people choose to either get a battery box. That's totally up to you. In the kit, we provide the Actac through-hole kit, so you can pass this cable through whatever box you have, connect it to the battery, and you have a quick disconnect battery box to plug. But like I said, this situation, we're just going to have a very quick and easy install, and it's going to work great.
one reason why I might advocate for a box is strictly for line management. You do have a long cord back here, and that's just going to keep everything nice and neat. And also too is to securely fasten your battery to the kayak itself. So we do have these included Omni clips that would secure your black pack down as well as the battery.
All right, the last piece we have left to do is to install our NK180 Pro controller. We're going to be utilizing the Yak Attack throttle mount and an included hardware in the mounting kit. So we have our controller mounted to the Yak Attack throttle mount. We are going to use this location here on the SKF as our throttle mount base position. We're going to go ahead and install our lock and load base. And finally, our controller. Give it a little adjustment. All right, so now that we got our throttle controller mounted, the last thing to do is to install our control cable. Make sure that's nice and snug. And then we go back to our motor. There we go. All right, we got our controller cable installed. Now we're just gonna plug it in and test it. We should be good to go.
Well, that's it for this install. We successfully got the NK180 Pro on the back of this SKF117. If you're interested in this kayak, you can check out bonafidefishing.com. If you would like the motor, the link is also down below. As always, appreciate y'all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the water.